After 2.5 years of ownership, today is the day that we say goodbye to the remaining speakers in the Canton Vento lineup. If you guys are new to the channel, I had Canton Vento speakers all through my home theater for the last 2.5 years, and recently upgraded to some KEF speakers that I currently own right now. And I have a guy who moved from Germany to Cleveland, Ohio recently. I mean, maybe a month ago, so super recently. And he found me on social media, found my channel, said he loved the channel and wanted to take these off my hands. So he's on his way from Cleveland right now. You guys are gonna meet him in today's video. I'm gonna give him a demo while he's here of my new system and see what he thinks. He'll be the first person ever to hear a full-on demo of my current system. So we'll get his thoughts, get to meet him, and then we'll pack these up into his car and send these to a new home. I'm gonna try to get him to enter in on Subscriber Showcase so we can see these in his home and how he's using them, because I'm gonna be curious. But we haven't all, they're wrapped up, they're wiped down, made them look as good as possible. So I mean, they look really, really new. I try to take care of my speakers as best as I can anyway, but these are no longer mine anymore. They are gonna belong to him. So let's go pick him up and let's do a demo for him. All right, guys, we are here with my subscribers or subscriber. We'll try to get her on board. I'll try to get her to do that before she leaves. She can't leave until she subscribes, actually. But these are our new friends here on the channel, and they are here to steal away my Canton speakers. We made a nice little compromise online to get him out of here, so he's going to get those out of my hands so I can finally, you know, focus on the system that I have in front of me. So I appreciate you for coming down here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. These guys drove down from Cleveland. I live in Kentucky, so it's about was a 3-hour or so drive? 5-hour drive, longer than I thought. So they came down this morning. Actually, I think they drove last night. Kind of stayed in Louisville, which is a city really close to me, and then took the last hour this morning or this afternoon to me now. So we're hanging out here. They're going to get a demo of the KEFs. Like I told you guys in the beginning of the video, the last clip, I've never had anybody in here to demo these speakers. So all we've gone off of is my own opinion. So I might think it sounds good, but these guys might think it sounds terrible. We're going to find out. Feel free to say your honest opinion on what you hear today. So if you guys are familiar with my channel, some of my favorite demos to do is the Hacksaw Ridge demo. You guys will get to see that. I love using that demo, and they'll see why. So we're going to do that for them. But first, I want to introduce who we have here. I'm going to start off with the young lady here.
Hi, Christabel.
That's Christabel. Where are you from, by the way?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. And
I'm Gunnar. I'm from Germany.
He's from Germany.
But also live in Cleveland now.
Lives in Cleveland. We spoke just briefly before he got here about his kind of travels. Tell us kind of where you've been.
So basically, I lived my life in Germany.
Yeah.
Then I went to California, San Diego for 11 years, did my PhD at UCSD. And then went to Singapore for 5 years, just lived there. And now I just moved to Cleveland 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, so she's been everywhere. It's really cool. So I was telling him when I was younger I was at the Germany, but I don't remember anything about it. So I try to relate, but it's so long ago that I can't remember anything about it. But we're going to give them a demo real quickly. But I do want to ask you, do you currently have a system where you live now, and like a stereo setup or a home theater?
Yeah, I just got the Klipsch RP600M, I think.
Oh, okay, so the bookshelf speakers, right?
Exactly, and I got the Raysong 810 tube amp.
Yeah.
And I got the record player as well from, I forgot the name right now.
Very good.
But the system doesn't have enough bass for me. And so I'm really looking forward to getting
it's gonna be so these are gonna replace those clips, do you think?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a night and day difference for you, because I did the review on the desk on the Klipsch 600Ms, and my complaint was there's no bass almost. Exactly, it kind of just falls off a cliff in my personal opinion. So these are incredible for bass, because I think they have 7-inch drivers in there. There's 2 of them. The port's down firing, I'm sure you know. And the bass on there, I could turn off the subs and be completely happy with it. So it'll be a night and day difference for you. So that's very cool. So are you into home theater more or music more? Or?
Mostly music, but then I want to explore home theater.
I think you'll like it. Well, have you ever been in a home theater? I know you probably went to the movies, but have you ever sat in a home theater?
No, nothing like this.
This is gonna be cool.
Yeah, this is amazing. I love it.
Awesome. So thank you. I appreciate that. So what we have in here, guys, if you're not familiar with my channel, is a 7.4.3 system. So 7 speakers are on the floor. Then we have 3 subwoofers in here. There's 1 up front in the corner there, and there's 2 on either side. So that's going to give us all the bass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's 3 in this small little room. And then I have 4 Atmos speakers. So the Atmos speakers is what gives you the effects when planes fly over your head or bugs or things buzzing around you. That's what gives you that atmospheric type of sound. So 7.3.4 system in here in this really small room.
Your neighbors must love you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've been here 4 years. I think I've had one time somebody knocked on my door to turn it down. So I've been okay. But I tell all my subscribers I gotta move out of here so I can turn that volume knob up. So we're gonna be pretty gentle with the volume today. I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the Hacksaw Ridge demo. I already have it kind of preloaded right now, so I'm gonna switch that input over and let you guys listen to it, and then tell me what you think. All right?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm off camera, but we have them front and center inside the sweet spot. They are getting ready to watch Hacksaw Ridge. You guys know I love doing this demo. They have no idea what they're in for. So I'm going to let you guys see the reaction. I'll give a little zoom in on them so you guys can see the reaction and see what they think about it. So off camera, guys, he told me he's never experienced, I may have said this in the last clip, but just in case, he's never been in a home theater before. He's never sat in one. So we're going to see if he,
First time.
yeah, see if he enjoys it. So here we go. Playing it right now.
Suspense is building.
Oh my god.
It's a creepy video for sure.
I can't see nothing! Beat me, pal! Where the fuck? Come on, wait, we don't get you undercover! Come on, come away! Come away, Captain!
All right, so I'll stop it right there. I'm getting some reactions from one. The movie is gory. I probably should have gave you a warning. This is Hacksaw Ridge. It came out, I think, late 2000s, but it's one of my favorite demos for, you know, excitement and stuff like that.
The sound is so amazing. It's way better than in a movie theater.
It's so much better in the movie theater. I try to tell people, I mean, going to movie theater will always be cool because you get to leave home, go with friends, eat popcorn. So there's always a reason to go. But when it comes to sound and like picture quality, if you can build yourself a home theater, it's a lot better than going to one.
Yeah, especially like the bullets flying around.
Exactly. Were you able to hear that?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So my Atmos speakers are above you guys. Were you able to tell a separation between what was happening on the floor versus what was coming above you guys? Were you able to hear some stuff up there? Were you able to?
Definitely,
yeah. So what did you think about the?
Oh, I mean, really good. Especially the bugs and that. I mean, that's very gory in general.
It is very gory.
Yeah, it really kind of highlighted a lot of the, I think, important parts of the movie. You know,
Yeah.
the sound.
Yeah.
Never even noticed. Not a sound system person, but just gotta subscribe.
Do you see the appeal of it though? Us men, we go crazy over this kind of stuff, but you see why sometimes, right?
I see it.
No, I love it in here. Having all the effects and stuff. It's hard to watch a movie after you've heard something like this and go back to like a TV or a sound bar or whatever you're using now. It's really hard to do that. So I'll always have some sort of system in here like this. But the Cantons can do the same thing. They can do the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely have to set one up now as well. I mean, that's
Yeah, you can get it done. You don't.
Beautiful. Yeah.
People think you have to spend a lot of money. You asked me how much my speakers cost, and I told you that only the first two are $6,000 by themselves. But you don't have to spend this much money to get a good home theater. You can spend $1,000 or $500, and you can still get a pretty realistic system. You could take those two Cantons and then take the clips you have and put them behind you, and have a pretty enjoyable system.
So what kind of amplifier should I get
For the Cantons?
Even if I want to think for the future to have all the surround thing.
Yeah, I say it would cost you probably the same amount, depending on who you go to go for a 2-channel amp, so 2-speaker amp, or a 5. You can find them for similar price. Depending on who you go for. I always recommend if you're starting out, you're not crazy serious about home theater and audio just yet, I would go for Emotiva if you're familiar with them. Because Emotiva makes really good stuff for the money. They're not the best out there, but they have really good lineups. You can get entry-level things, mid-tier, you can go high dollar. So they have something for everybody, but they handle power-hungry speakers like Cantons. Cantons can dip to some pretty serious taxing territory where they're really asking a lot from amplifiers, and Emotiva is known to be able to handle every bit of that. So I always recommend them first. I personally right now I'm using a Monoprice monolith amplifier. I'll link you or send you all this in a text message. But the Monoprice monolith amplifiers, they're probably some of the best bang for your buck right now in the market. And they have been for the last couple of years. I had mine for probably 3 years or so now. Whenever it came out, mine is a 7-channel. It's 7 times 200 watts. So all my speakers see in 200 watts, and it cost me at the time $1,400. I think now it's more like 18 since inflation and everything. It's gotten high, but I challenge you to find something around that price point that'll give you the price to performance and be able to handle any type of speaker. I mean, any type of speaker you hook up to this, it's going to be fine. So Emotiva, Monoprice, I recommend if you want to kind of save some money. Marantz just brought out some amplifiers. Denon's, those household names you may know of, they brought some out. If you're a tube amp kind of person, I don't know if tube amps would be good for Canton just because they ask of a lot of power, and typically tube amps don't deliver as much as they're going to ask for.
The one I have only has 7 watts per
Exactly. Great sound, I bet. Incredible sound, but when you plug them to these, you probably fry your amp, to be honest with it, just because of what they're going to ask you for, especially with the low bass. If you're not using these with a subwoofer, which sounds like you're not going to, they're going to, if you pull them full range, you're going to want to get them as close to rated power. I think these are rated close to 200 watts or something like that. So you want to try to find an amp at least 100, 150, just so when you do turn it up a little bit, that everybody is safe, the speakers and the amplifier. So I'll send you in text some of my recommendations, links to some stuff, and maybe some YouTube. I have so many YouTube videos of amplifiers. I'll send you some that I've already made so you can see about them and all that good stuff.
7-channel versus 5-channel? Is there...
Yeah, so the difference between 5-channel, let's talk about a 5-channel setup. I'm gonna come sit over so they can see me too. A 5-channel setup would be two front speakers, your center channel, and then 2 speakers either to the side of you or behind you, one or the other. And so you'll need a 5-channel setup for that. You don't really need a lot of power when it comes for anything behind you. Most of the power is everything up front. So your center channel, your front speakers. So you can kind of find a 5-channel amplifier that gives some. You'll see, like for Emotiva, for example, they'll say the front 2 channels are 200 watts per channel, but the back 3 are maybe 80 watts per channel, because you don't need that much power back there. So you don't have to spend a huge dollar to power your back speakers. But if you want to go for a 5-channel, we call it more like a basic setup, just 2-3 speakers up front, 2 in the back, you can get that pretty inexpensively. I personally like a 7-channel setup because the 2 additional speakers are the ones on the side, and it kind of bridges the gap between front to back. So that speaker there and this speaker here, its job is to bridge the path between that front to that speaker to the ones behind you. So if you
when you hear the bullets flying,
right, it transitions better, right? And then if you don't have these side speakers, it just goes straight from here to here. You miss that bridge between going from side to back, side to front, whatever it is. It's just front to back if you only have 5 speakers.
All right, 7 channels, then it is.
Yeah, I think 7 channels is the way to go. Of course, you'll have to find an amplifier that can do 7 channels, which that's when you start spending some money. But it's pretty rewarding, I would say. Let me make sure that I have this camera fully wide. I know I had it zoomed in on you guys. I did. To kind of piggyback on that, you said 7 channels is the way to go. I tell people also, if you're going to have a 7-channel setup, that's when speaker placement becomes important, because you have to be able to put them where they're supposed to go to get the effect, right? Receivers and amplifiers, like what I'm using now, have calibration in them, so you can kind of, if you can't place them perfectly, they can kind of help assist with, still giving you a good sound, but placement is key. So if you can't put your speakers relatively close to where they're going to go, you might actually hurt your sound trying to go 7 speakers when you probably could set up a 5-channel a lot that makes any sense. I would start with 5.
Since now we're friends, I will just call you. And
but yeah,
hey, so where did I put
video
my
chat me and show me around your room. Hey, is this right? Hey, I'm down for that.
I can send you a picture of where the content's going to be in the house, and I
mean, believe it or not, people who have my email, I put my email on every video, so people email me and ask me, hey, is this right? Hey, is this right? And I'm pretty quick about responding. Awesome, people have my Facebook, so you can message me whatever. So yeah, send me a picture of your setup and stuff like that. I'm gonna lead that to say about Subscriber Showcase. He has no idea what Subscriber Showcase is, and I'll forgive him for now because he's new to the channel. But Subscriber Showcase is a chance for you guys to show your setups on my channel. So I do a lot of talking, and Kyle has this, I like to give back to you guys and celebrate you. So Subscriber Showcase, which I have a playlist, I have 7 different seasons. We're on season 8 now, so it's been around for a while. But you guys send some pictures or video, whatever you want to do, of your setup. Talk about your speakers, amplifiers of choice. If you have a home theater, you can show me your seating, your TV, or projector setup. Just kind of like what I do on YouTube. You're the YouTube star at that moment. And show us what you have. A lot of times I do giveaways. Sometimes I'll let you guys vote who was your favorite for that episode and do giveaways. I think I gave $200 away last time amongst 3 different winners. So that was pretty cool. But it gives you a chance to just show off your setup. Hey, I have Klipsch 600Ms with this amplifier. Here's what I like to listen to. You can give a demo of it if you'd like to. And the reason why I'm telling you to do it because I want to see how you set up the Cantons. Exactly. I want to see that in your room. So I'm hoping that you're okay with shooting some photos and a description of what you have. I want to see how these are, what home these are going to. That would be pretty cool to me. So that's what Subscriber Showcase is. We're going to start doing that in the middle of December. So people have already started sending me some stuff. So I'm going to get that gathered up and organized, and then we'll put you on an episode of Subscriber Showcase. So I think that would be really cool to do. Yeah.
And then I can win another piece of
You might be able to win another Canton speaker, whatever I have.
I'll vote for my video that's going to be
exactly. Vote for him. He needs your votes. But yeah, we might do a giveaway. I've been thinking about doing a giveaway. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in that closet people would like, some projectors and stuff. So maybe we'll give some of that stuff away. A record player, you never know. Yeah. So I'm going to give these guys just one more short little demo. I'm going to do maybe music since that's what you're into. Yeah. I'm going to do 2-channel music, no subs. Okay. And see what you think about the Kpaceguy speakers.
Yeah, sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. They enjoyed that demo. We talked a little bit about my system and kind of how to piece together a system. So we introduced them to the AVM70, the preprocessor that I'm using. I'm using a Monolith 7x200 amplifier to power my floor-level speakers, and then the OSD Audio Neuro AX something, something, something. That's doing all my Atmos speakers here. So we kind of talked about how you set one of those up and what all the responsibilities are for each of those components. So he's pretty intrigued. Maybe we can get him to get a system in his home in the future. We'll start off with a 2-channel and kind of build it from there. But he recommended me a song. I asked him off camera. I said, hey, you have Klipsch 600Ms right now, but you're going to replace them with these. Can you tell me a song that you heard on the Klipsch that I can play here? So he recommended me The River by Bruce Springsteen. And I haven't heard it before, but we're going to listen to him here. And I'm assuming you've only heard this song either in the car or on the Klipsch, I'm guessing.
Exactly,
so,
yeah. I also actually heard it back in Germany when I got my first Canton speakers.
Really?
20 years ago,
20 years
or maybe
ago?
30 years ago.
Well, there you go. So now we're jumping to something a little more, I guess you can say a little more modern now, the KEF R11. So we're going to see if again, I've never heard the song, so I'm not sure what opinion I'll have on it, but we're going to see what he thinks of it on the KEFs versus, in the car 20 years ago or on the Klipsch, see if he hears any new nuances or bass notes or whatever. So just for preference, the subs are off. It's just my 2 KEF speakers, and they are in the sweet spot. So I'll play a minute or 2 and tell me what you think. Oh, I should probably connect my phone to the... See, I told you I wasn't a professional. Let me get it hooked up to it.
I come from down the valley, and she was just 17. We go down to the river.
All right, I'll stop it there. Any differences between the Klipsch? Hopefully, because
totally
those are $5,500 less than what I bought. Please tell me there's a difference.
No, obviously, way more depth and I don't know how to say it in the right technical terms, but you hear different layers of it that you don't have.
Yeah, like I said, you'll get that. These aren't, my KEFs aren't like a billion times better than the Canton. It's a pretty even battle. And so I think when you put these in your home, I think it'll be night and day difference for you. Because I tell people all the time, the room you put your speakers in plays a huge role in how your speakers sound. And so if I was to pack these up and give them to you, it may sound better in your house than it did in mine, or vice versa. It kind of just depends on the space. But I think when you swap the 600Ms out and you put those in, I think you'll have the same experience there as you did here. So I want to ask you if you have a song that you just love. Nothing.
Just enjoying your banter. I know nothing of this. I have not.
Really?
This. Yeah.
Well, any song you want to check out?
No, not really.
Nothing. No, you're fine.
No, I don't know.
Then tell me another one that you like. Something. I don't know, something that you find pretty, what's the word I want to use? Involved, maybe. There's a lot of instruments, there's a lot of voices, there's a lot going on. Anything that pops into your head when I say that? What's a song that kind
Well, I
of...
think Michael Jackson would be a good.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a particular one that kind of...
Smooth Criminal.
That's a good one. I'm going to turn this one up just a little bit, too, because I'm familiar with this song. So, and everybody on YouTube will know it, too. So, let me turn this one up and give you a little bit of performance on this one. All right, I'll stop it there.
Amazing. I think those speakers are way more suited for this kind of music.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. I think when I did the review, I told people if you're buying these and you want like hip hop and R&B or something like that, maybe not. But when it comes to stuff like this, things with good singers and voices that are really strong, these are when these things shine. While I was listening, I was going to ask you, how far away do you sit from your speakers when you listen to music? Do you have like a rough idea of how?
Yeah. So the room is bigger than this room.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the moment, the setup is not, perfect. So the speakers are kind of over against one wall, and then there's kind of like a couch setup. So you sit in a chair or off the couch. You have different distances. It's not like yet.
Not in a set spot.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm curious, you guys on YouTube, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you guys have a set spot you listen to music. Because I know when I watch other YouTubers and they listen to things, they always sit in the same spot. When I do videos, I'll go and I'll sit right here and then I'll assess. But off camera, I don't know that I ever sit here to listen to music. Or sometimes I don't sit down at all. I may walk around and do things and, clean the house or whatever the case is and just have music playing. But rarely do I ever pull up a chair or have one in a spot where I know it sounds the best and stay there. So that's interesting that you kind of don't do that either. You may have a seat where you know it will sound good. You may listen for a little bit, but there's not many people out there who critically listen like that anymore. In my personal opinion,
I think it makes more sense with a home theater because everything is kind of centering around this
exactly.
position. But if I just have two speakers for music, we'll never sit.
Yeah,
in a
I don't either.
Location.
I'm just curious. Last song that we're gonna do, I'm just gonna hit another Michael Jackson song. I'm gonna let you choose between these two. Either "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" or "Rock With You." I haven't heard these two on these speakers. I'm gonna end it with those two.
You gotta choose.
You're gonna end it. Which one do you want to hear?
Rock With You.
Rock With You.
Okay.
I'm gonna play that for a few just to hear what that sounds like. It has a nice little tempo. Not a lot of bass in it, kind of like a little kick drum or whatever, so it should sound pretty good. I want to hear what that sounds like.
Then you should sit in the middle.
Let's see what you think about that sweet
perfect. This is the seat.
When you're listening, I'm going to put a challenge for you too while you're listening. So you're in the sweet spot, and what we mean by that is it's the perfect location for you to sit so that everything is balanced. So everything is equal volume everywhere you are. But the one cool effect that music does is it's called phantom center or phantom image. You may have had it if you're in the middle. Only that speaker and this speaker is on. This speaker in the middle is off. But if you're sitting in the right spot and everything's calibrated correctly, the voices should still sound like it's coming from the middle, even though there's no speakers there. So I'm going to challenge you to listen to this song since you know the song very well. I'm going to see if you hear Michael Jackson coming from here, or do you hear two Michael Jacksons coming from left and right. Alrighty?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Right.
Rock With You, you said?
Rock With You.
Let's do it.
Don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can groove with mine. You gotta feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie all night. Dance you in the sun.
Alright, we'll stop it there. Where'd you hear Michael at? Oh, that's so good. I was hoping you'd say that because if not, I got some work to do on myself. Yeah, so if everything's calibrated well and you sit in the center, that's why we call it the sweet spot. Everything has a focal point. So when you were listening to the movie, everything was everywhere, but it all kind of had its balance. Even though it was scattered, everything sounded relatively even as far as volume level, and the effect was there. But in music, you don't want that scattered sound. You want things to be placed, because if the recording is correct, if everything was engineered correctly, that audio engineer will put certain sounds in certain speakers to give you effects, but the voices will always stay centered. So you may have heard like the harmonies and something may sounded over here, the drums or something may be over here, but the voices always stayed there. And that's kind of how you can tell if your stereo setup is really dialed in or not. So I challenge you to get that. I'm sure you have it with the clips, but it's a new task with these. You may have to toe them in or toe them out or whatever. There's some.
Yeah, it's just sitting here on the left side. I mean, the voice clearly came from the speaker.
Right.
For me, yeah.
Yep. That's kind of why we call it the sweet spot
Yeah.
there. So when you're listening, you kind of want to be as close to that spot as possible. Unless you're not critical listening, like I said, cleaning the house or whatever, then it doesn't matter. But,
So angle-wise,
Yeah.
they are not pointing directly at the spot, right?
not directly, and
Yeah.
it changes from speaker to speaker. When I had the Cantons, they were more so pointed to that spot.
Okay.
And it just depends on what speaker you have and what sounds the best. Some speakers can be a little harsh sounding, meaning they're really bright, like they kind of hurt your ears almost. It makes you feel like you want to turn it down, but you don't want to turn it down because you want to listen to music and enjoy it. If you toe them away from your ear, you're taking those high noises. They're not going straight at your forehead, right? They're kind of going past you a little bit. What kind of can help with a speaker that's known to be harsh. Clips are known to be kind of bright sounding and stuff like that. So if you toe them away from me a little bit, you kind of shoot some of that bright sounding sound away from your ears, not like straight into it. So for me, these are slightly towed in, but not directly there. And because of that, you can kind of shift a little bit on the couch and kind of get a good effect. But of course, you're all the way to the left, so it would be a little bit different for you. But having it towed in kind of dials it in more. Having it towed out kind of spreads it out just a little bit. So it's something to play with from speaker to speaker. I've had speakers where I pointed it straight, and I loved it more than when I had it angled towards the couch. So it's all just a game, really. It's never-ending upgrades, is what people say. So don't get into this hobby because
I was
you're going to spend a lot of money and
I
time.
was gonna watch it. How about that?
I just got into it, so you know.
Right. He might be down a rabbit hole because when I got my first speakers, I was like, okay, and then I wanted something else, and I wanted something else, and I wanted something else, and so here I am with $6,000, $10,000 speakers. I don't know how I got here. Like I spent all this money. I could have probably bought a house by now, probably if I save all. Right? I'm guilty. But I'm going to end it there, guys. I greatly appreciate you guys come down here to not only buy this but just hang out. A lot of my friends, they know what I do, but no, you really have to care about this thing to have a conversation about it. Like you're kind of just here, like, oh, this is cool, yeah, like whatever, but it's cool. I like the music you're playing, but but it's not many people who know enough about it to really have a conversation. Of course, YouTube's here, so I can go in the comments and have conversation, and you can do the same thing too. If you're watching any of my videos or anybody's YouTube videos, and you have a question, most of us are good about getting down there in the comment section and answering those for you. I try to answer them all that I can. There's a lot of people out there who know more than I do because a lot of my audience is older than I am, who've had systems 20, 30 years ago or whatever, and know a lot more about stuff than I do, so they can help all of us out. So if you have any questions when you set them up, whatever the case is, feel free to get in the comments. I'll see them all.
I will comment on this video right here.
There you go. Comment. Yeah, you better
Don't like the German guy.
Yeah, we'll definitely get a lot. This video should do pretty well because people like to hear other people's voices besides mine every now and then, right? So this video should do pretty good. But I'm definitely curious to see how you set these up and how, if you find it easy, you play to them. Oh yeah, they're good right off the bat, or did you have some tuning you had to do them? So I'm curious to kind of see how you have them set up because I'm the only person on YouTube who has these on YouTube, so you'll be another person who can show me your setup and see what you did with them. So, but again, thank you guys so much for coming down here. I appreciate you taking the trip and trusting me. I know we're strangers at the time, so it can be kind of scary, meeting people. But I'm glad you guys did that. I appreciate you guys coming. I'm
glad I came and pick them up in person.
I am too. I could have figured out how to ship them, but it's so dangerous. I have boxes for them, but it's so dangerous to do that because shippers just kind of toss things where they want to, and I would hate for you to unbox these and you're like, hey, Kpaceguy, I got to send them back. They're broken. I would be so upset. So, but I'm gonna help you guys get them packed up in the car and help you guys find a place to eat and let you get back on the road. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment down here for these guys. Tell them thank you guys for coming down and giving us some content. This is really cool to do. Don't get to do this very often. Give him some tips for setting up a home theater. He may go into that field when he gets more acquainted with these. He may add some more speakers. So, give him some tips now. Tell him some things that you messed up in the beginning, so maybe he can get past that right off the bat. Right. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already. Look for him on Subscriber Showcase. I'm going to make him get on there. And we will see you guys in the next video. Kpaceguy out. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. even if the sky is falling down.